Hi, in this video we're going to be learning about the Review tab that you'll find inside your online Microsoft Word account. So first of all, we've opened up an online Word document and we've clicked on the Review tab at the top. The Review tab doesn't seem like it gets used an awful lot, but there's so much great cool stuff that you can do with it. So hopefully you're going to be a person who will find this very useful. When you're in the Review tab, there is an editor over on the side where you can look, you can set up your autocorrect options, you can have editor settings, text predictions. So if you get a word that comes pretty close, all of a sudden that word will end up appearing on the screen, and you can set your proofing language. Most of the time you're not going to have to worry about that, and if you do, it's kind of a one-time setup type thing for yourself. There's a word count drop down. Word count is really useful because it'll tell you how many words are on your page. And if you look down at the very bottom of this screen, you'll see right down on the bottom it says right now 0 words. But if I come onto the screen and I put the brown cow, all of a sudden now it's showing 3 words. So it's kind of useful just for knowing how many words there are, because sometimes you do have a limit on the number of words that you're supposed to put into a document. So you can turn that on if you want to, or you can turn it off, depending on what you want to do with your account. You do have a check accessibility feature that's come into Word now, and this is where you're able to address the needs of someone possibly who would be blind, who has trouble being able to see. And what you can do when you run that accessibility check is find out, do the colors of my text clash with the graphic I have on the page? Or are the colors of my text too light colored so that a person who has trouble seeing can't be able to see what's on the page? And that is a real big thing to want to make sure that you're addressing those people who are visually impaired. And there are some other options too, but that's a really good way for you to check to see if your document will address the needs of many people. You do have a translate feature. The translate feature is great. So let's say that we have a cow in here, or we have text in here and it says the brown cow. We do have translate selection, or translate the document. So I'm going to highlight this right here. Then I'm going to come up and I'm going to translate what I just selected. And over on the side, it shows it. And I chose Spanish as the language that I would like to be able to translate it into. And you'll see right here what the brown cow is in Spanish. And if I would like to change that on the page, I can just click Insert. Now watch the brown cow, what happens when I click Insert. There it is. The text just went over and replaced the other text that I had. And if you want to change that real quickly, right after you get done with it, do a Control-Z, and it undoes what I just did in there. It's really a wonderful way and a quick way to be able to do translating features inside of your Word document. And you can also translate the whole entire document if you would like. There are some other options over here where a comment can be left. Teachers find this particularly useful when they're grading research papers or papers that students have turned in. You can come in and you can do a big mass delete if you would like. There are some other options that will show, like show comments, so that if I click show comments, if there was a comment about the brown cow, that would be showing up over on the side over here. We do have a track changes so that you're able to see what is being changed inside this online Word document. And then we have where we can accept the changes, we can reject the changes, and it'll show the previous, and it'll show whatever the next happened to be with all this. The Review tab is very useful for you being able to check on how well you've done on your paper. Don't be afraid to experiment with it. The desktop version of Word has a much better review feature than what the online version has. So you may want to check that out too, so you can see how that all goes. So that is the Review tab inside of your Word document. Have fun experimenting with it.